Hey everybody, this is Chair. I thought I'd stop in and talk to y'all for a few minutes, let you know how everything was going. Um, Everything was going pretty good a few minutes ago. I've just recorded all of this and then accidentally deleted every bit of it before I got to post it. So, oops on my part. Was going to talk to y'all about a couple of things today. Nothing important because nothing I ever have to say is important, but um, here's the deal. Okay, I know a lot of people do research on this before they have it done, just like I did. And then you've got your family members and your friends and anybody and everybody going, you really don't need to have that done. You're really not that fat. You really don't need to have that done. And, I was wondering sometimes, are they jealous because you're going to have it done and that you might actually be happy for a change, or you might lose the weight, you might be healthier? For people that take $700 worth of medicine a month that might not have to take any more of that medicine, are they just jealous that something is wrong in their life and they can't fix it? Or are they just totally negative people all the time? So here's a quick little story for you. I know that I've touched base on it a couple times in some of my other videos, but when my boys and I moved in here, my grandmother moved in with us. When she found out that I was going to have gastric bypass, she flipped completely out. And she's like, "Oh, you can't do that. People die from that." I'm like, "Granny, you die from obesity. And for the past 10 years, you've been saying, Cherry, you need to lose some weight. You really need to lose some weight. You're getting too big. Your health is at risk. You're going to die before the boys, da-da-da, freaking da." Okay, so I decide to go really start researching it. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to the doctor because I know good and well my insurance is not going to pay for it. And, it'll satisfy her and everything will be fine. Well, little did I know that I met all the criteria and my insurance would pay for it. So then I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually within reach. I can actually have gastric bypass surgery. And needless to say, too, I have an ex-boyfriend that is a complete asshole. Sorry for the language, but there's no way to sugarcoat it. He is an asshole. So when me and him split up, he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm just going to tell you." He said, "You're going to end up fat and ugly like every other girl I've left." Well, then when I started talking to Jason reminded me. He said, "Hello, he didn't leave you. You got smart and left him. First mistake." That was his first mistake saying that. So the whole entire time that I was sitting here thinking I can actually have gastric bypass surgery, I can actually lose weight, I can buy clothes, maybe, hopefully, in the smaller section that don't have like multiple X's after them. I was like, you watch and see, big boy. You'll see that I will not end up like the rest of them. So I use my anger and hostility and hatred for him now to push me to where I'm at. So thank you, dumbass, for giving me the courage to keep going just to prove your stupid ass wrong. Okay, enough on dumbass. I had to vent there for a minute. So anyway, my grandmother didn't want me to do it. She hated the fact that I was going to do it. And then finally, got my surgery date. It was September 28th of 2009. Had my surgery. I think I come home on October the 1st or 2nd, I think. She moved out on the 4th or 5th. It was the Saturday after I got home. I'm like, okay. I wake up on Saturday. I barely get out of the bed and hobble to the bathroom. And then I come downstairs and there's like 7 or 8 people in my house moving their furniture. I'm like, where are you going? I'm moving. She's like, oh, okay, that's fine. See you, bye, since you want to be like that. Well, I understand that she was 80-something years old and that kids get on her nerves and, things are different. You can't raise 2 households in one house. But anyway, to make a long story short, I've not talked to her since she left. She didn't have anything to do with me, so I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to push it. Fine. Long story short, talked to her on the phone a minute. She did my income tax, and then the next, she had to go to the hospital last week or 2 weeks ago. My sister called and said, "I'm taking Granny to the hospital. I think she had a stroke." So I decided that since I lost my other grandmother and my great grandmother last year, that I need to go see her in the hospital, make sure she's okay, and say, is there anything I can do for you? And please don't give me a big lecture about how I've ruined my life because I had gastric bypass and how much you hate Jason and the whole 9 yards. So I get to the hospital and she's laying facing the window, which is, puts her back to me. And I walk in there and she rolls over and she kind of looks at me, and I'm like, oh great, this is not a good idea. I shouldn't have come here. And then she rolls back over and she says, can I help you with something? And I said, well, I thought that I would come and check on you today and see how you're feeling. Brandy said she had to bring you. And she turned back over and she looked at me and she's like, Chera, is that you? And I said, well, it was when I left this morning. I mean, I guess it's still me. And she's like, oh my God, you've lost so much weight. I didn't even know it was you. She said, I'm amazed. And she just kept staring at me. She just kept looking at me. And, I was sitting there with my arms across my chest like this, and I just really didn't know what to say to her. And she, after it was all over and done with, she's like, you really look good. And I was like, well, thank you very much. So, after losing 83 pounds in 22 weeks, if you know anybody that's wanting to have the surgery done or talking about having the surgery done, and come on, people, I mean, if they're really, really overweight, give them a break. I mean, especially if you're sitting there and you're wearing a size 2 in blue jeans and a little skimpy tank top with no bra to hold anything up. Don't be ugly to these people. Don't discourage anybody from trying to better themselves. Be a supportive mentor and help them, because this stuff is hard. Don't let anybody tell you that you're taking the easy way out when all you have to do is diet and watch what you eat. I dieted a lot, and I watched what I ate, every single thing I put in my mouth. It's not easy. It's not a bowl of cherries. So, just don't let anybody discourage you. Do what you want to do. Do what's going to make you feel better. And yes, people die. They die every day from having the surgery. It might be a doctor mistake. It might be, their name come up on the list there at the pearly gates of heaven. When it's your time to go, you're gonna go. So if you do the research and you make sure that you have a doctor that's very good, go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You have to lose 50, 80, 100, 200, 300, 400 pounds for some people. That's what you have to lose. What do you have to gain? Your life back. So quit being so negative to people. Quit being ugly to people. And quit telling people they're taking the easy way out. Because I'm telling you, it's not easy. Hold that thought. I have to make a couple of videos today. We only have a 10-minute rule on here. And I don't know why, because it'd be a whole lot easier just to let somebody sit and ramble on and on and on and on and on in one conversation. But, oh well, I didn't design YouTube, or I wouldn't be sitting here making movies, because I would be a multimillionaire.